Today we're going to be discussing the challenges that we face as poultry farmers. Guys, we go through a lot as poultry farmers, especially when you're trying to scale, when you are trying to juggle your 9 to 5 job, or like me, your 9 to 5 and your night shift job, and also trying to build something of your own. Those are the challenges that we are faced with on a daily. Hello everybody, this is your good Dr. Caroline, a professional medical doctor, passionate about poultry farming and striving for financial freedom. So, challenges in poultry farming. So what is the first one? So you're going to have the first problem, right? Availability. Guys, as you can see, I'm in my scrubs. I just came from work. I'm supposed to be at the farm, but because I'm juggling my work and running my own business, I'm not fully at the farm. So which is a problem, because when you are starting, you need to be seeing what is happening. Are the chicks being fed well? Are they taking the scales well? Are your employees not stealing from you? So it's one of those challenges whereby, when you're a startup, it becomes so difficult because you don't even have systems in place yet. So availability is a problem. Like, it's a major problem when you are starting up. It's one of the biggest challenges that I am currently facing. My shop is in one province. I work in one province. My farm is in another province. So meaning I have to travel in between 3 provinces. So I need to make time to go there almost every weekend, which is costly for me, but I have to keep on pushing. So availability is one of the most major problems that we as poultry farmer go through, especially if you are in a full-time job. So what are the solutions to that? I wouldn't say there's really solutions. You just have to go through this, First of all, you need to find trustworthy employees, right? You need to interview your people and, try to find out that, is this person understanding the vision of what I'm trying to push? You will find that there are some employees, they just want to go to work, they just want to do their jobs and leave. They're not with you in the vision. Thus, they only care about salary. They don't care about, are they doing their jobs properly? But then I feel like when you show your employees the vision and what you're driving, and they are part of the journey, that's when they'll put more effort into it. Because it is so sad, you get to the farm, they just record the numbers. You lost 100 chicks today, you lost 200 chickens on this day, with note. And then when you're trying to find out what's happening, they don't know. They just know they have to give you a record of what you have lost. But I would say it's better to find people that understand the dream, that understand the vision, and they are willing to walk with you through the vision. Try to explain to whoever you choose as your employee that, I'm a startup and this is the vision, this is the dream. Let's walk the dream together, for them to understand that when chickens are dying, what might be wrong, to understand the importance of, heating. If the chickens are too cold, the reason why chickens shouldn't clump together, the reason why they should regularly check temperatures and humidities, the reason why it is important for them to disinfect every time they get into the chicken coop. Working at a poultry farm, it doesn't need a certificate, it doesn't need you to be having a certain type of qualification, but these are the skills that you can acquire as you go. Like me, I don't have a qualification to animal health or anything like that, right? But then if you explain to your employees what the vision is, why are we doing what we're doing, make them feel like they are they are a part of a dream and what you're building towards. Make them understand why should they record what they're recording, and why is it important to reduce the number of mortalities at your farm. So let's go to the second challenge. Our second challenge is record keeping. So our second challenge is record keeping. I've realized that it is so difficult for us to keep a record of every single thing that we do. Like in my farm, I've created a template. Me and my partner have created this template whereby we have a record of everything from day one. So we have the cost of, renovating the area. We have everything that we have bought. We have a record of that. We have a record of our assets, because as you are renovating, you will buy certain things and then others you will record them under asset. Like buying, your wheelbarrows, your tanks, that's an asset, all right? So everything that you will keep on using and that is reusable, you will record it as part of your asset, right? So that you can know how much you have spent in the total cost of renovating that area, the total cost of starting, the number of assets that you have, so that if something gets lost, you know what is happening. So we have created that, but the problem is keeping up. Most of the time we are always catching up. We recently bought a couple of things, right? And we haven't yet updated our asset register. So it's a huge problem because we always have to keep on, catching up to what we have. You buy something today because you're busy, you have to go to work, you have to, do other things, be a parent, be a partner. You end up forgetting that I need to update my asset register. I have to update my cost register, and it's one of the most major challenges, especially when you are starting up. When you are up there, you can hire a person to do, to record your things, to do your paperwork for you. But currently, it's just you starting. So that is one of the major challenges that I experience, my partner experience, and sometimes you just become in despair. You're like, am I not serious? Why haven't we recorded this? Why are we always catching up? But I just want you to understand that it happens. It's not a matter of you're too relaxed. It's just that there's so much happening in your life. You just need to balance. But it is important to have a record, because once you have recorded, you'll be able to see the trend. You'll be able to see, okay, I've spent 100K on renovating and whatever, and this is the number of assets that we have. And then once you start operating, when you make that 100K, you will know that 100K will be paying off what you have spent out of your pocket. You're not yet making profit. That's the mentality you need to have. Once you start operating, once you start seeing money, right, you have to understand that the money that's coming in on a daily, it's not a profit. Because remember, you took money out of your pocket to invest in your business. So what you need to know is that whatever amount that you have put in this business, you are the first investor. Same as you go and ask for investment or a loan from the bank. Once you start operating and generating money, you have to pay it off, right? Once you start making profit, you have to pay it off, right? You don't consider it as your money. So it's the same as with you. If you invest a certain portion of money in your business, if you invest, let's just say 100,000, 50,000, 20,000 in you starting up this business, you have to know and treat yourself as an investor. And the minute you start making that money, you have to pay back the investment that you have made, and then start from there calculating your profit. So a record keeping is very important in that manner, that you will see how much you've invested, how much you're currently making, and is it really a real profit, or is it you paying back how much you've invested in your company or in, your poultry farm, right? And also another thing about record keeping is when you have your chicks, right? I'm also currently busy with creating a manual for recording everything that's happening on your chicks. So you will have to know that, okay, what's the humidity and temperature of your chicken coop, in the morning or every 4 hourly or whatever template that you would have wanted it. How many eggs has your employee collected or you have collected if you're full-time at your farm. You have to have a record of how many mortalities in that specific day, right? That way you will know by the end of the month or by the end of a week, you'll be knowing how many chicks you've lost, how many eggs you've produced, how much you'll be making from that. And now it will help you in seeing if there's a loss in production. You will see that my chicks are no longer producing the way they are. What might be wrong? Is there a temperature change? Is there a humidity change? Are they sick? So it's very important to have a record keeping, especially if you are planning on scaling into this business. You don't live day by day. You have to be knowing what is happening in your chicken coop. Yes, it's an issue with me as well. Like I said, I'm always catching up, but at least have that template that will make you see, it's like a directional map towards something, a directional map towards success. The third one is knowledge, investing in knowledge. Are you investing in your knowledge? When I wanted to start poultry farming, I think it took me more than 6 months of planning. It was 6 months of planning, collecting data, reading, trying to have a vision of what I want to do. Me doing my investigation and investing in my knowledge, I had to decide, am I going for broilers? Am I going for layers? Okay, I'm going for layers. Now I have to read more about layers. What's happening in poultry farming when it comes to layer farming, And I've realized that there's not a lot of local layer farmers. There's a lot of broiler farming, especially in my area, but there's not a lot of local layer farming, right? And I've realized also in finding information about layer farming, it was a bit challenging, also currently still challenging, right? It is difficult to find something to read about. When you do your investigation, when you do your research, you find a lot of broiler farming instead of layer farming, right? So it's a bit of a challenge as well, right? And also another thing that I've realized is that, finding stock supply. Guys, finding chickens or day-old chick, there's just so much scams out there. There's a lot of people that have been scammed when it comes to, layer farming, finding day-old chicks for layers. Like, it is so scarce. And the companies that are well known, they're always fully booked. Those, well-known classified companies, the minute you go there, you try calling, they will tell you they're fully booked. Dates are up until I don't know how many years. Like, it's just so much stress. And then when you go on the internet, you try to look for day-old farming and all that. Like, there's just so many scams, and you have to invest in, doing your proper research, calling, even going to these farms that are selling day-old chicks to see if this exists, right? Like, I've heard so much stories whereby people have been scammed so much money. So I would say, if you want to go into this business, if you want to go into layer farming, you have to invest in the knowledge. You have to invest in your research. You have to take the time to drive to where, drive to the place where you want to order your chickens. Imagine making an order of 1,000 chicks, an order of 20,000 chicks, and this person just says, make a transaction and then we'll deliver on this day. People make transactions, the delivery never comes. Do you know the amount of money this person has lost? By that time, one chick is 25 rands. So I would advise that, make time, to invest in knowledge. Invest in your knowledge, invest in doing the proper research. That's why I am telling you that it took me more than 6 months doing research before I decided to move one step forward, right? So you have to take these things step by step, especially if you're not doing domestic farming. You know, when you're doing your domestic poultry farming, you're keeping chickens in your home, you know, they're giving you eggs, you're selling to your neighbors, it's fine. But now when you want to do commercial farming, it's a different story. You want to scale in this commercial farming. You're treating it as a business. So you don't want to go into a business that you're clueless about. You don't want to go into a business whereby you don't even know which supplies are. You know, you fall for each and every scam that is there. Because trust me, I've never seen so much scams when it comes to layer farming. It's easy to find broilers. You know, when you want to farm broilers, it's easier to find them, right? They're never out of stock. They're always available. But layer farming, yo, there was a point I was like, you know what, I don't know what to do. I'm ready to give up. But I want you to keep on keeping in there and invest in research. And you know what, drive. If the person selling the day-old chicks is in another province, drive to that place, see the place. Like you cannot lose hundreds of thousands of rands because you just want to order online and they deliver. Those are the challenges that, you know, in when you're going in poultry farming, especially layer poultry farming, it's a huge challenge. And, you know, doing the research, it's a challenge because sometimes you don't even find enough information. You will have sleepless nights trying to find information. That's the reason I started this channel, so that whatever information that I have, I teach it to you guys, you know, so that you take a step by step with me, you know, the things that I buy, the products that I needed, the diseases that you have to know. Like, at least it's a step closer, and it's your job for you to you know, go a step further. You know, as much as I teach whatever that I'm teaching, you go a step further, especially if you want to create a commercial farming. Another challenge will be the prices of chicks and feeds, guys. It is so expensive to start this business. But once you have put it in your mind, once you have put it in your vision, nothing will stop you. I want you to, you know, to go out there and to not give up. First of all, for me, it was expensive to renovate. Let's start there. I'm gonna share the cost that I've spent on renovating. I'll do a video on that, you know, everything that I have bought, the cost and everything. I have a record of that, right? Secondly, the cost of buying these chicks. Remember, when you want to see a real profit, you have to buy a lot of chicks, at least from 500 upwards, right? Because remember, you want to do this as a commercial farmer, not a domestic farmer, right? So meaning you have to buy bulk, right? That's expensive. The cost of feeds, very expensive. And you know, the challenging part about layer farming is that you spend all of this and then with no, like, there's no profit coming in, there's no money coming in. Because remember, your chickens will start laying at week 17 and 22, right? So for this period of time, it's almost 4 months. So for 4 months, you'll be feeding these chicks. You'll be spending on light if you're using electricity to give them light for warmth. You know, you'll be vaccinating these chicks. All of this is money. And that is why I'm saying that before you go into this business, it took me more than 6 months of planning. And I have to tell you the truth, I am still planning even currently, right? The way it is so expensive, I'm thinking of even selling my car because I want to invest in my business. That's how much I believe in this business. I'm all in. I am all in, and I want to eliminate all the extra costs that are not bringing me anything. If I decide to sell my car, you guys will be the first people to know that the car is gone. And if I decide otherwise, I will tell you. But if the car goes, I'll make a video about that. But it's one of the things that I'm thinking about, that, you know what, this is so costly. And we have 2 cars. How about, we sell off 1 car so that we can invest more into this business? Mind you, when you have bought land, you have to invest in protection of that place. I made a video previously that, thieves came in and they stole my water tank and all that, right? Now I have to put more investment in security of the area. That's one cost on its own. And then we go into these babies that you're bringing in, your chicks, right? That's another cost on its own. And then you go to every single day that you have to feed them for 4 months without seeing any eggs. So it's a game of long run. It's going to take time. You have to be in there and believe that whatever you see in your mind, the vision that you have of what you want to build, it's there, and you just have to hang in there. You just have to keep on pushing, because it's one of the most major challenges. I think that's one of the reasons why we don't have a lot of layer farmers, right? Especially in my area, right? There's not a lot of layer farmers. Most they will be selling broilers instead of layers, right? Because broilers, you grow them in 6 weeks, you get a profit, you sell them, and then you buy again. So it's a 6-week kind of cycle. But with this one, you invest for 4 months, and if you don't have a startup capital, it's something else. And if you're not working, it's also something else, because how are you going to buy the feeds? Because you won't be receiving any profit, you won't be receiving any extra income, So you have to invest in knowledge. Like I said, you have to invest in knowledge and doing your proper research, right? And also, once you invest in your knowledge, you know that, whatever that I want to achieve, whatever I want to build, I am ready to build. Even if the prices are high, I will hang in there. So let's invest in that knowledge, and let's have that vision. Let us know that this is a long-term thing. And once it's a long-term thing, we tell ourselves, you tell yourself, I tell myself that I'm in this thing for the long run. Doesn't matter the challenges, but I'm in this thing for the long run, because the vision that I have about this company, about this commercial farming, is bigger than I am. And for you to get there, you have to keep on pushing. You invest for now so that you can reap the fruits later. And that's what I am currently, doing. That's how my thinking is currently, that I'm in this full force. I'm not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So these are the 4 minimal challenges I wanted to share with you guys. So availability, record keeping, investing in your knowledge. It's one of those challenges, but it's your job to go seek for more information, And then prices of chicks, plus or minus also the feeds. It's also your job for you to be knowing that these things are going to be expensive, and how are you going to feed your chicken. So don't go into this business being blind. Go into this business knowing that it's not going to be easy, but we're going to keep on pushing. So these are the main challenges that I am going through, and I'm tackling them on a daily, and it's a step-by-step process. Yeah, guys, it was nice talking to you guys. So yeah, I'll catch you on the next episode. Love ya.